Hi, my name is Jennifer Burgess. Today, we will be covering the results from a qualitative and quantitative assessment of content from Bose.com. Not only will I be covering these results, but I will also provide recommendations for issues uncovered in this analysis. I'd like to begin this presentation with an overview as to why it was undertaken. Essentially, the goal was to ensure that content on our site was valuable to users and met business needs. The following provides the details of this evaluation. In short, I analyzed and created inventory of 75 pages on Bose.com. My analysis used metrics based off of several readings that we have done this term, which includes, but is not limited to, Content Strategy for the Web by Halverson and Raich. At the end of this report, I will provide recommendations for my findings. So, what did I learn from this audit? In short, I found that content did not meet brand standards, several pages were rife with page errors, content had issues with readability, and somewhat duplicate content existed across the site. The most important and critical of all these issues is that almost all of our content did not meet visual branding standards. Only one page followed the visual guidelines set forth by our branding team. On this slide, I have called out 3 examples of headers that use different fonts. The danger of these inconsistencies is that it hurts the brand narrative that we have all set out to create. So, this slide is self-explanatory. In theory, our site really shouldn't have any page errors at all. Errors can lead to customer drop-off, as customers will leave the site if they're unable to get what they need. The third issue I found was with readability. I found that many pages used a confusing eye tracking pattern. As you can see from this example, the reader must jump from topic to topic, and the topics themselves do not align. The last issue I found was that somewhat duplicate information existed across the site. In particular, I found this between owner's manuals and support. After interviewing stakeholders from both sides, I found that content was rewritten from one platform to the next. This current process, as is simply inefficient and increases operating costs for the business. So, now that we've gone over the problems, let's focus on the solutions. Issue 1, branding standards. After interviewing the team that created this content, I do not believe that more brand training is going to solve the issue. The staff knows that these standards should be followed and have completed brand training within the past 6 months. I believe that the problem lies in the staff's toolkit. I believe it can be solved using a technical solution. A CSS style sheet that incorporates proper brand fonts should solve the issue. Issue number 2, page errors. After interviewing the staff that actually gets the content onto the web, I found that many did not know that these errors even existed. This is due mostly to a staffing issue. The staff is underwater and can't get content out as quickly as it is created. They don't have a dedicated resource looking to identify these errors. So, the easiest solution would be to get more resources. Additionally, current staff need to be alerted to issues that occur. This can be done using the 2 options listed here. As an added bonus, if the staff uses Remedy, a pattern may be able to be established of common errors that are occurring. Issue number 3, readability. Before I start, I do want to note that I don't think the branding team are going to like this recommendation. I believe that removing the paneling style altogether is the best solution. While I realize that the paneling style presents a certain visual aesthetic, I don't think that it's helping our user. I would recommend that the branding team reassess our guidelines and see if they can come up with a better solution. And lastly, issue number 4, the case of the almost duplicate content. After interviewing the staff, I think that the issue lies with the lack of content governance. The current process is as follows. User experience writers create the original content found in the owner's manuals. They then throw it over the wall at the support staff. The support staff then rewrite the content. While I truly do believe that the support staff is doing what they think is best for the user, I do not think that they have a solid case for rewriting the content. It appears that the reason for rewriting the content is simply territorial. The support staff uses a different terminology and style guide than the user experience writers that the staff believe is superior. So, the first step would be to repair the relationship between the 2 teams. I think that a liaison with final decision-maker authorities would be the best bet. I also believe that a mandated use of a CMS would help with any issues that I predict will arise. I believe that following these recommendations will better serve the company and its brand. I believe that they will be leading to a stronger loyalty base with increased customer engagement. Additionally, I believe that operating expenses will be reduced with these recommendations. So while the analysis with provided recommendations may appear to be overwhelming, the good news is that all problems identified have concrete solutions that can be implemented. I truly believe that these recommendations will serve to better Bose and increase its longevity. Thank you so much for taking the time today to listen to this presentation. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.